What's up everyone, Captain Savage here, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to play with generators in a normal game of Ark, unmodded. So to start with, we have the normal generator, we have the wind turbine, and the tech generator. Let's take a look at the tech generator. Tech generator is one from fighting a boss. You have to go into the boss fights, do a boss on a certain difficulty, win, and then you craft it. I will put what boss and what difficulty on the screen. To craft it, you need 120 black pearls, 250 crystal, 30 element, 2,400 metal ingot, and 500 polymer. Now, if I go too fast, feel free to pause. The nice thing about the tech generator is that it's a wireless generator, meaning all you have to do is put element inside of it, and it wirelessly creates energy. Once you have the element inside, turn it on, and you'll see all these little blue sparkles flying around. You'll see this nice radius coming out of the generator, and what that shows you is how far away an electronic component like the refrigerator here will work. And if you turn off the generator, the fridge is unpowered. You turn it back on, the fridge has power. Keep in mind, turning on and off generators, tech or otherwise, consumes that fuel. So if you turn on a generator that takes gasoline, it'll consume that fuel or element. Now you can set the ranges on this from very small to where it's the default to very big. Keep in mind, the larger the radius, the more element you're going to burn through and the faster you're going to burn through. But the upside is all your electrical components will be powered wirelessly, and you'll know they'll be powered if you have those blue sparkles floating around them. Now let's take a look at the normal generator. To craft this, you have to be level 49. You have to have 10 electronics and 25 metal ingots. It takes gasoline to power, and to craft gasoline in a refining forge, you put oil and hide with some fuel to turn on the refining forge, and over time, you'll get gasoline. Now put the gasoline inside and turn it on. You'll notice that it turns yellow, it lights up. Let's look at our snap points. So off this little branch coming off the generator, we have a vertical snap point right in the center. And we have a horizontal snap point that goes on one of the four sides of the generator. It all depends on which side you're looking at. Let's just place it in the front. Now both of these cables have a snap point. This vertical one goes away from the generator in the same direction that we placed our horizontal cable. Now, again, the generator has these other three snap points on all the other sides, but we're going to go off the front here. It's going to be, if this was on foundations, this cable would be hidden underneath. But these snap points have multiple locations. The vertical cable here has one snap point. The horizontal has two. Up, down, well, three technically. Up, down, and sideways. And then we have a flexible cable. We'll get into that a little bit. Now let's talk about what happens if you make a mistake laying down cable. Say that cable is nowhere near placing and it's not going to connect, but you don't want to pick it back up or destroy it. You can use the flexible cable. It's actually kind of fun to play with. You craft this a little bit later on in the game. Flexible cables allow you to place and manipulate how your cables work, and they can work. It can only go a certain range from the snap point, but essentially you're creating a bridge. And once that's created, it's going to connect to any cable you have as long as you want it to. You turn on your generator, all the cables turn yellow, meaning they're powered. And you'll notice the flexible cable is all powered, including the one intersection cable that we placed on the ground. And this works completely fine. You put down a junction box and it powers that fridge. I mean, it's a far distance, but it powers the fridge. Now you cannot put junction boxes on the flexible cables. Keep that in mind. You only place them on your standard non-flexible cables. But the nice thing is, regardless of where those cables go, thanks to the help of the flexible cables, you'll have power across your base. Now, if you get a little lost, what I want you to do is place down a random foundation somewhere, throw a generator on it, get some cables, and play with those snap points until you get used to them. If the generator is on a foundation and you decide to go with a horizontal snap point, the cable's going to be in the floor. Now, if you look down at the foundation, you may be able to find the little UI pop-up that allows you to interact with the cable, but it's a little difficult, so just take your time. Mistakes will happen. Let's talk about the wind turbine. For the wind turbine, you need to be level 50. This originally came from the Scorched Earth expansion. You need 20 cementing paste, 25 electronics, and 75 metal ingots. Now, if you hold down your map button, for PC it's H. It's actually not your map button. It is your UI info button for PC. That's H. On Xbox, it's your map button. Hold that down. In PlayStation, I'm not sure, but whatever button brings up this little UI thing in the top left corner, it'll tell you a few things. If you look at it, it'll say where you're at, the location, and how much percentage of wind. Keep in mind, the island doesn't list the percentage of wind. Scorched Earth does, Crystal Isles does, and I'm not sure about the other maps. The other official, whether they're official modded or DLC maps. Here in this location, in Crystal Isles, we have 100% wind. And you know this wind turbine's working because it's lit up yellow, just like the generator does when you turn it on. The great thing about wind turbines is they don't require fuel to work. As long as you have that 100% wind, you will have 100% power all the time. Keep in mind, not every location has this. In Scorched Earth, the places that have 100% wind is the sand dunes that surround the map. In the interior of the map, you don't get that. You'll get 20%, 40%, 60%, all that stuff. Same with Crystal Isles. Now on Valguero, I couldn't come across a place that didn't have 100% wind, even though it didn't list a wind percentage. So just place down the wind turbine just to see if it works, and who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and find 100% wind. Now if you look at the map here, I am at the 40 latitude, or 85 latitude, 40-ish longitude, more like 38 longitude. This area has 100% wind. It's that bay in the southern desert of Crystal Isles, so that's a good location. Now the snap points on the wind turbine you have, just like the normal generator. You have a vertical one, and you have 4 horizontal ones that go around the wind turbine, just like the generator does. And just like the generator, once you place down the cables, you can snap to them as is. However, if you have 100% wind, those cables will automatically turn yellow, meaning powered. Go ahead and do whatever you want with it. If you place down a cable and it's already powered, you can throw a junction box on it and power whatever you want. Or you can place this away from your base and cable your way towards your base and power everything. It's all up to you. As you can see, you can go any distance you want with these cables as long as you have a power source, and then you can connect it with the flexible cables or whatever you need to. And because you have 100% wind here using the wind turbine, you have power. Now you can also find the wind percentage in your inventory here. It'll be underneath your name, your level, your tribe name. Right next to your location, you'll see what percentage of wind. If I was to travel inland a bit more, that percentage won't be 100%. Usually around the oceans, it's a 100%. Don't quote me on that because it very much depends on your location. In the swamps of Crystal Isle, you may not get it. On the other coastlines, you may not get 100%. But at least in this one location in the southern desert by that bay that you can see on the map, you get it. So let's travel inland for a second. Here's a good spot. Now, if we take a look here, you'll see by holding down your info button after the lag settles that we're only at 40% wind, meaning 40% of the time that wind turbine's going to be producing power. Keep this in mind when you use wind turbines. If you're not in 100%, that means eventually you won't be having power. So if you have fridges, cryo fridges, anything like that connected to it, occasionally they will not receive power. Now I moved a little bit farther or closer towards the coast, I'm at 80%. If I go back to the original spot, I'll be at 100%. 100% wind power is what you want to never run out of power again. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments. I get to every single one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.